Hi everyone, welcome to Thread and Theory Design Studio. My name is Lindsay and today I'm going to be showing you how to sharpen a pair of dull pattern making shears with a handheld whetstone. As most sewists and pattern makers know, a sharp pair of shears is absolutely essential to your toolbox, and just regular maintenance will help keep your favorite pair in good operation for many years to come. So today we're going to look at my Americut angled pattern making shears. So they have a flat edge here, and I've had these shears for about 15 years. And just with regular maintenance, I have been able to, continuously use these. Those are actually my preferred and pretty much my primary shears that I use. So to get started, what we're going to need is, of course, your scissors, and then you're also going to need a whetstone. So the one that I'm using today is a GS sharpening stone from Ginger. I got it as part of a vintage haul of pattern making gear some years ago. They do sell them new. Comes with a little sharpening stone sheath that's made out of leather, so that's really nice for storage. I just keep that in my toolbox. The whetstone does require it to be soaked and submerged in water for about 15 to 20 minutes before you're planning to use it. Some stones require oil. This one requires water. You usually will not do oil and water with the same stone. It's one or the other. So what I'm going to do is remove my stone from the water. Since this stone is a smaller stone, it's pretty small in size, I don't usually lay it flat and then take the shears across it like this, or how you've seen maybe in like knife sharpening videos. I will just hand hold the stone because it is small, so I'm going to show you my method and my technique. So just to start off with, we're going to take a look at how well these shears are cutting right now. So this is cardstock paper manila oak tag. You can see it's cutting, but there's a little bit of, I kind of have to force it and pull the paper down while pushing up, when really the tool should be doing most of the work. So what I'm going to do is take my whetstone. I'm going to position my shears in a way that's comfortable and also ensuring that I have a solid grip on them. So usually I'm going to take my thumb, avoiding the hinge area here, but I'm going to extend the shears out. I'm going to place my thumb here, place my middle finger here, just giving it a good resting point, and then my index finger here, just to make sure that the shears, have a good stability. And you can even put your, well, I don't actually like to put my finger in there because then I could potentially close the shears on myself. So I like to keep both my middle and my thumb here, and then use my index finger as a resting point. And I kind of rest the shears in the web of my thumb. And then again, avoiding that hinge. And this gives me a really solid grip on the shears. So with the whetstone in hand, you're going to place it against the angled edge, okay? And we're going to be starting from heel to tip. So towards the inner hinge part of the shears, stroking in one direction towards the tip. The reason that we don't lay the stone flat is because we'll damage the outer chromed part of this shear, or the nice finished part of the shear. And then we don't also want to do perpendicular to the blade edge, because that will actually just will remove the beveled edge that you're trying to maintain. And that beveled edge is really what gives you the sharpness and the precision of the cuts. And then also we don't really sharpen the inner part here, just because there's really not a need to. Again, that kind of affects the beveled edge that's already there. So what we're really trying to do is just maintain this beveled edge and sharpen it up so that your cuts can be more precise. So with my shears in hand, firmly held, and my whetstone in my other hand, I just grip the whetstone. I use my index finger as a stabilizer, so I have ensure a good grip on it. And I'm just going to do 10 to 15 strokes along the blade edge. Just consistent, slow, controlled strokes. You don't have to use a lot of pressure. You're just gently, controlled sharpening that edge. And again, it's against keeping that stone against the beveled edge, keeping it at the same angle as the bevel, and going approximately 10 to 15 strokes, one direction from heel to tip. Okay? I can see it getting sharper already just from my point of view, my perspective. Okay, so I think that was approximately 10 to 15. You're going to want to do the same even amount on the other side. So now I'm going to put my stone down, and I'm going to turn my blades around so that now I'm focusing on the other side of the scissors blade. Left blade, right blade, whatever. So again, I'm going to position this middle finger and thumb here, and it fits for this scissors. My thumb just fits perfectly there, and then my index finger to help maintain some stability. And I might have opened these a little too wide, so I'm going to readjust those. All right. And again, making sure that I put this part in the web of my thumb so that I really have a good controlled grip on it. Okay. So again, with the whetstone, placed against the angle of the scissors, controlled strokes, making sure to watch the inner finger so you don't cut yourself, the thumb that's holding the whetstone, and 10 to 15 strokes on this side. Not a ton of pressure, just gentle, a light pressure against the blade. Not enough so that if you slipped you would cut yourself, just enough to apply a little bit of pressure there, because you can always do another round of sharpening. You don't have to get it all in one round. Okay. So once you've got that done, you might notice there might be a burred edge on the inside of the blades. Again, be careful with this edge because it's now pretty sharp. So to kind of get rid of that, you can open and close the shears a few times just to kind of start filing down that inner burred edge. And then also we're going to clean the shears now as well. So some tutorials call for cleaning with soap and water, and that is fine. I typically don't use water on my shears just because I try to avoid any instance of rust on my tools. So I'm going to use an alcohol wipe. And again, I'm going to open the shears up, making sure I have a firm grip, controlled grip. And on the flat edge, the dull edge of the shear, I'm going to place my alcohol wipe, and then I just clean along the blade, just with a light pressure. And I won't go too much on the actual knife edge of the blade because it is pretty sharp, so I'm just cleaning along the flat side. And I'm going to do the other side here. Again, making sure I have a nice controlled grip. All right. And you can clean in the hinge area as well if you like. We're going to oil this part as well. Just part of our routine maintenance. And these get a lot of buildup and debris, dirt, dust, all sorts of things in there. So you can see my towelette is quite dirty. I haven't sharpened these in a while. So, okay, now we're going to apply some machine oil just in the hinge portion area. We really don't want to get oil all along the blade because then that will transfer to your materials when you're using the shears. But I like to put like 1 or 2 drops of machine oil in here just to get that, keep that hinge oiled up and to prevent rust. So here we go. Machine oil, 1 to 2 drops, just in that hinge area. And then I like to do one there, and I like to do one with the shears facing downwards. So just right in here. And you can use a little Q-tip as well, just to kind of get the oil spread around. I like to give the shears an open and close a few times, just to get that oil moving all through the hinge area. Okay. I'm just oiling all around here. I'm closing it incrementally just so that I can get oil in more areas or areas that normally I wouldn't get the oil into if I wasn't opening and closing it. And you can see that my Q-tip is getting pretty dirty because debris, dust has settled in that hinge area. So this is why I kind of like to open and close the shears and really kind of use that Q-tip to spread that oil in there. It also helps to clean it through the hinge area without removing all the pin and the washer. You can remove those. I usually don't because there's a specific tension that these need to have. So I usually leave that to a professional to, if they want to sharpen each individual blade and pull the hinge off, pull it off the hinge, then, they can replace it correctly. I just prefer to not mess with that. Okay, so this is fully oiled up. Blades feel good. Let's give it a shot and see how that has sharpened. Okay. Woo. Much less pressure. So I'm not having to pull the paper down. The tool is really doing the work here. Very nice. And this is a thicker cardstock paper. If this was regular pattern paper, these shears would just slice right through it. So that is how I maintain a nice sharp blade. Again, you can, have your shears can last you a lifetime if you maintain them. There are also professional sharpening services. So those are, nice if you don't feel comfortable sharpening your own blades. But if you have a Whetstone or you were considering buying one but didn't know how to use it, feel free to give it a try. And again, there are other methods that you can use, so you don't necessarily have to hold the Whetstone. You can actually lay it flat on a stable surface and then sharpen against the blade, sharpen the blade against the Whetstone on a stable, flat surface. But I like to hold my blade and hold my my Whetstone, and this particular Whetstone is just the right size for that. Thank you so much, and if you follow my YouTube channel, I'll be posting more tips, tricks, techniques, things like that for pattern makers and sewists. You can also check out my website, www.threadandtheory.co. We offer pattern making and technical design services, as well as design consulting for independent brands and startup brands, whether it's fashion or just apparel or sewn goods. We can help you with all your needs. Thanks again for watching.